Hi friends, welcome to our channel Plants, Crochet, Cooking and more. Well, today I am here with a very beautiful pattern. We are going to learn to make puff granny square. So let us begin with the magic ring. And we are going to chain 1. After that we are going to make 7 number of single crochet in the magic ring. Now if you find the magic ring too wide, you can tighten it by pulling its tail. Once our single crochets are ready, we are going to slip stitch into the very first chain. And then we will tighten our magic ring further. Now once we have done the slip stitch, we are going to chain 3, which will be counted as our first double crochet. Now in the same chain space, we are going to make 3 more double crochet. So that we have a total of 4 double crochets, including the very first 3 number of chains. Now we will pass our hook through the very first chain so that a small puff is formed. Now chain 1 and we'll move on into the next chain space. And there we are going to make again 4 number of double crochet. That's the first one, the second one, the third, and the very last or the fourth one. Yes, once that is done, we'll take a hook out and then insert our hook on the very first chain, or if we count from the end portion, it will be the 4th chain, and we'll pass our yarn through it so that a small puff is formed. See, it is already formed. I have chained 1. Now I'll skip into the next chain space. Here again I'm making 4 number of double crochet. The first one is already done. That's the second, the third, and the fourth one. Now I take out my hook and pass my hook through the very 4th chain, counting from the starting point or where the loop is there, open loop is there, and I will then pass through it. So my third puff is also ready. Chain 1 and then jump into the next gap and make 4 number of double crochet. So our 3 double crochets are ready. Now that's the final one. Now I take off my hook and I'll pass my hook through the 4th chain, starting from the open loop end, and pass my loop through it. So my puff is ready again. Chain 1, jump into the next stitch, and similarly we need to work. That's the first double crochet, the second one, followed by the third and the fourth, and similarly we'll make the puff stitch. This will be a pretty granny square. You can use it for making cushion covers, bags, anything you wish to. And oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm using the normal yarn, which is quite thin, and as I use regularly, my hook size is 12.5. So The main sequence out here is we jump into an open chain space and make 4 number of double crochet. We take off the hook, and then from the 4th chain we pass our hook and pull through so that a puff is formed. Simple as that. Now we will get 8 number of puffs. So once that is done, we need to join the starting and the end point. That I'll be showing you. This is my I think the final one. Yes, the 8th one is done. Now I'll pass my hook to the very first puff from the back side after chaining 1, and then I'll pull through, and then I'm going to snip off the yarn. Now quickly I'll tuck away the loose ends with the help of the tapestry needle, and let's move on to the second row. Second row is just the repetition of the first row. Here I'm introducing my off-white yarn, and through the gaps in between the puffs I'm going to attach my yarn and make a chain of 3. Now let me tell you, this chain of 3 will be counted as 1 double crochet. In addition to that, I am going to make 3 number of additional double crochet in the same space. Once we get 4 number of double crochets, counting the very first chain of 3, I am going to pass the yarn through the very first chain space as we have done in the earlier part of our work. Then I'm going to chain 1 and make again a set of 4 number of double crochets in the very same chain gap or the petal gap. Now that's the 3rd double crochet, and this is the 4th one. I'll take my hook off and pass my hook through the 4th chain and pass my yarn through it. So my puff is ready. So chain 1 and move into the next petal gap or the puff gap. Now there I am going to make 4 number of double crochet as we have been doing, and once I have the 4 number of double crochet, I'll take out my hook and then pass the hook from the 4th chain and then pull the yarn through it, and so my puff is ready. I'll chain 1 and again move on into the same petal gap and make a set of 4 double crochets so that another puff stitch can be made. See, the process is the same. We just need to make 2 number of puffs in one gap, that is the petal gap. That is the only difference. It is very easy. Now counting the stitches, the chains, we are going to pass a hook through the 4th and then pull the yarn through it. Then we are going to chain 1 and then hop into the next petal gap. That means in one petal gap we are making 2 puff stitches. That is the only difference. So in the same manner we are going to continue all around till we reach the starting point of our work. So I am near the starting point. Here I need to complete the stitches till I have 4 double crochet in the space. Then I'm going to pass my hook through the 4th chain and pull through. So my puff stitch is ready. I'm going to chain 1 and make the second puff in the same gap, in the same petal gap, That's the second double crochet, the third, and this is the final one, fourth. Now I take off my hook, pass my hook through the fourth chain and pull through. Yes. Now what we need to do is chain one and slip stitch into the back of the petal as we had done in the earlier row as well. Now I snip off the yarn and tuck away the loose ends. Now I'm going to introduce my pink yarn. I make a slip knot and then I'll attach the yarn in the gaps in between the puff stitches. Then I'm going to chain 3. Now this chain of 3 will also be counted as one double crochet, and now in the same space I am going to make another double crochet. Then I'll chain 1 and hop into the next petal gap and make 2 number of double crochet. Then again I'm going to chain 1 and hop into the next space and make 2 number of double crochet. Now again I chain 1 and I move on to the next space where I am going to make 2 double crochet, 1 and 2, that's the second one. Now I am going to chain 1 and move on to the next space to make 2 number of double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 2 because I'll be working on my first corner and then make a set of 2 double crochet again in the same gap. So that makes our first corner. After that I'm going to chain 1 and hop again into the petal gap and make 2 number of double crochet. Now repeating the same process, chain 1 and making 2 number of double crochet in between the petal gaps. After the first corner is made, we are going to work 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, chain 1 thrice, and then we are going to work a second corner. Here we are going to make 2 number of double crochet, chain 2 and another set of 2 double crochet in the same chain space. So that makes our second corner. Now similarly we are going to chain 1 and make 2 double crochet, again chain 1, 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet till we have 3 sets before making our third corner. As it is the repetition of the same process, so I'll catch up with you when I meet the end of this particular row. So I'll be working my last set of 2 double crochet, then I'm going to chain 1 and work on the 4th corner, which is already half done out there as we had started our work from that very point. Now chain 1 and I'll hop into the very starting gap, and there I am going to work 2 number of double crochet, 1 and 2, and I'll finish off this 4th corner by making a chain of 2 and then a slip stitch into the 3rd chain space of the first chain of 3. Now that chain of 3 was the very first stitch we had done for this particular row. Now what we do is I will skip into that open gap, for which I will skip the chain and enter that gap. Once I reach that gap, I am going to make a chain of 3, which will be counted as 1 double crochet. Then again I'll make another double crochet, then chain 1 and hop into the next gap again and make 2 double crochet, and similarly chain 1 and hop into the next gap. So this now here too we just need to repeat the steps we had done earlier, that is 2 double crochet, chain 1 and again 2 double crochet in the next gap. And now I have reached my corner. After chaining 1, I am going to make 2 double crochet in the corner gap, and then I am going to chain 2 as we had done in the row below it, and make another set of 2 double crochet. It is very easy, even the beginners can try this. Then I am going to chain 1 and hop into the next gap and make two number of double crochet, and the same process is to be repeated all around till we reach the starting point. We just need to work the corners carefully. That is, in the corners we are making 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet, and then we are hopping into the next gap after chaining 1. It is very easy, and I have showed the steps elaborately. I think anyone can follow this tutorial and work on this granny square. I have reached the last corner where I am going to make 2 double crochet, chain 2, 1 and 2, and again 2 double crochet in the same space. After that I am going to chain 1 and slip stitch on the third chain of the very first stitch, which was a chain of 3, and then I'm going to snip off the yarn. So here it is, my puff granny squares are ready. Now see, the blue fellow looks a little bigger, that is due to the thickness of the yarn. Other than that, the stitches are all same. Thank you friends for staying till the end. Do not forget to share, subscribe and comment. Do hit the like button if you found the video interesting. If you are new to our channel, do take a moment to subscribe and stay tuned for interesting videos. So till we meet again, it is bye bye.